YouTube, listen, we need to talk about your stream lagging. First and foremost, we got to set the record straight with this, and this is something that you need to know. There's two types of frame drops whenever it comes to OBS and streaming. There's frame drop in the actual game itself, and then there's frame drops that are actually in OBS. Dropping frames in game could be many different things. It could be the CPU being overworked, the GPU being overworked, a very intense part of the game when there's a lot of motion on the screen, that kind of stuff. That is going to cause drop frames in your game. Now, if you're dropping frames on OBS, so if you're streaming and you see that little drop frames thing at the very bottom down there, that is due only to your network connection. You could go buy the nicest GPU out there. It doesn't matter if you have a 40, 80, 90,000 GPU. You're still going to drop frames because your network is not what it needs to be. The best way to solve this issue is to ensure that your stream is on the most stable connection that it can possibly be on. Honestly, you could have a fiber connection that's 500 upload and 500 download, but if that connection is not stable, you're going to be dropping a lot of frames. The way to fix this is to plug your Ethernet cable into your router or into your modem. There's a couple other things that you can do to actually improve the look of your stream. First and foremost, that's going to be to run OBS as admin, as opposed to just clicking on it. You need to right click on it and then go to run as admin and then click on that. So what that's going to do is that's going to secure some GPU resources for OBS. If you're encoding with your CPU, that X264, you might have to go in and go into that advanced tab and change the process priority. You can change it to a little bit more so that it gets a little bit more resources. One very common question that I get is, what settings are you using for your CPU or GPU encoder? And I actually made two videos, one for GPU for NVENC and the other one is for X264. Y'all be sure to go check those out. I'll link them down in the description, as well as you'll see them popping up here. One very easy way is to stream in 720p instead of 1080p. This is a great way to do it. There's about half as many pixels whenever you're streaming 720p, so that's going to make things a lot easier to stream on your computer. Maybe you're using the wrong kind of encoder. Maybe you need to be using NVENC when you're using X264. Maybe you need to use X264 when you're using NVENC. If you're using NVENC and your GPU doesn't have enough headroom to use NVENC, then you're going to get a lot of tearing, a lot of render, a lot of encoder lag. If you don't have the ability to use NVENC, use X264. Switch it to a little bit faster of a preset and reduce output resolution in frames per second. There's a great way to check this out. Go check out MSI Afterburner. That's going to be able to tell you how much of your GPU is being used, how much of your CPU is being used, and then you can learn from that if, hey, maybe NVENC isn't the best since I'm using 100% of my GPU allocation. If you are dropping frames in OBS, like I said earlier, you can either upgrade your internet. Maybe it's not a strong enough internet. I usually recommend 10 megabits per second is the minimum that you need to be able to stream effectively. You can stream with lower stuff, but you're gonna have to stream at 480p or 720p, and then make sure that your internet is stable. I can't emphasize that enough, y'all. Make sure you're not using wireless, that you're plugged directly into the router, directly into the modem, one or the other. You can lower the resource usage of your OBS by actually taking away a lot of the animated things. If you have a bunch of animated stuff, use stream elements. It makes it a little bit easier on your CPU, on your computer, to actually use those animated things. If you make sure that you're doing all of those things and that all of those things are correct and where they need to be, you're gonna have a nice stream. It may not be the absolute sharpest of quality, but it will be able to stream. You'll be able to get out there and work on your stuff. As always, guys, thank y'all so much for coming and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. Be sure to check down below for all my different socials. I do stream on Twitch every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, so come hang out with me. I'd love to talk to you about any questions that you do have regarding OBS, Streamlabs OBS, anything along those lines. I also have a great Discord with an awesome community in it. We've been hanging out in there a good bit, so be sure to stop on by and also check out all the other socials and stuff down there. But be sure to also like this video if you got something out of it. I would definitely appreciate that. And if you haven't already, go take a look around the channel. If you see what you like, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that subscribe button and come back for more. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful week.
It's a cool game. I actually hate having guns.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Yep. Actually, I'd like to finish the game with a pistol on.
Honestly, I prefer to fight naked, if at all possible.